Hello friends, welcome back. I'm sure you must be remembering the topic that we had covered in the last class. We are talking about two types of unemployment that people in India are facing. That is seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment. From the very name itself, you'll be able to make out what is the meaning of seasonal unemployment. That means they will be unemployed during certain seasons. Disguise means in hiding. Hidingly they are unemployed. So let us see in detail exactly what's the meaning of these two types of unemployments. So we said in case of India we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. So we will find unemployment, different types of unemployment in rural and urban areas. So in rural and urban. In rural and urban areas we have unemployment. However, the nature of the unemployed differs in rural and urban areas. So we have unemployment in rural and urban areas, but in both places we will not find the nature of the unemployment same. It will be different from one place to another. And there is seasonal and disguised unemployment. Seasonal and disguised unemployment. And urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. So in the urban areas we will find another type of unemployment, that is educated. We find educated unemployment. That means they are educated but they are not able to find a job. So let us see in detail what is the meaning of seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. People depend upon agriculture usually face such kind of problems. There are certain busy seasons when sowing, harvesting, weeding, threshing is done. And certain months do not provide much work to the people dependent on agriculture. So this seasonal unemployment we will find mostly in the agricultural field. People who are working in the agriculture, or we can say in the primary sector. For example, people who are cultivating paddy, they don't have work throughout the year. Their work starts only when the rain comes. They start preparing the land, they'll start sowing the seed, or they'll start planting paddy. Then after some time they'll start weeding the weeds. Then they'll start putting fertilizers, or they will be doing the harvesting. After harvesting they will be doing the threshing, and they'll carry the paddy and keep at home. So this much work only for cultivation, those farmers. So it may last hardly 4 months or 5 months. And what about the rest month? In a year there are 12 months, and just 5 months only these farmers have got work. So in that season, cultivation season or monsoon season, they have got job. And once that monsoon season is over or cultivation season is over, they have no more job. So the rest of the 7 months they are sitting at home, nothing to do. That is called seasonal unemployment. They are willing to do work, but there is no work available. So that is called seasonal unemployment. I hope you understood. So it is mainly happening the place where people are cultivating, people who are involved in agriculture work. They are the one facing this problem of seasonal unemployment. They cannot find work. So in the case of disguised unemployment, people appear to be employed. They have agricultural plots where they find work. This usually happens among family members engaged in agricultural activity. So this disguised unemployment, that also mostly happens among the farmers. And that means they are apparently employed, or people who are looking at them, they say, oh, this person is working every day, he has got work. But it is disguise, it is not in real. It is appearing to be having employment, but in reality they do not have job. That is the meaning of disguise. Disguise means changing the shape, appearance, changing the appearance. So for example, families who are engaged in agriculture work, people who have got small plot of land, a family who has got a small plot of land for cultivation, and in a family may be 5 members or 6 members may be there. So if that family has got a small plot of land, then they all go and work in that field. You follow? All the members, father, mother and children, everybody go and work in that field. And remember, the size of the plot is very small. There is no need of 6 people working there. There may be 2 people or 3 people enough, and 3 people are simply joining. So if this plot of land, the number of workers needed is only 3. If there are 3 people, they can finish up all the works in that field. Planting, weeding, harvesting, everything. 3 people can manage nicely. Then other 3 people, they can go for some other job. But here in the case of this family, these 3 people do not find any other job. They are searching for a job, but they cannot find any job. Therefore what happens? Only these 3 people are working, and they say, how they are working, how can we sit at home simply? So we also will come and work with you. So 3 plus 3. All the 6 people are working in this field. So when this field work can be completed by 3 people, and instead of 3 people, 6 people are working, then what will be the condition? Are they working the full to their potentiality? No. So when 6 people are working, it is same as they are working only half of their ability, because 3 people working full time means the work will be complete, and 6 people are working means all are only working half each. So they are not working to the full potentiality. So actually only 3 people need to be employed there, but instead 6 people are working there. Therefore we can say 3 people are in disguise employment. Understood? So there is only work for 3 people, and instead of 3 people, 6 people are working. Therefore 3 extra people are coming to work. Actually they no need to work there, others can easily manage, but still they are coming and joining because they belong to the same family, and therefore we can say these 3 people are extra there. They are not actually employed there, but they are disguised. People who are looking from outside, they say, oh, all the members of that family are going to work. That is true. Apparently same, appearing to be having employment for all the people, all the members. But in reality, only 3 people are employed there. 3 people are just simply working. And because of their joining, all of them no need to work full to their potentiality. They just work and the work will be complete. So that is called, in that case, the 3 people will be called disguise. They are in disguise employment. Okay, just see again. So this usually happens among family members engaged in agricultural activity. The work requires the service of 5 people but engages 8 people. So here in a family where there is another example where there is only 5 people are required, but in that family 8 members are there, so all the 8 are going and working there. So 8 people and 5 plus 3, the 3 people are extra and they are in disguise employment. 3 people are extra. These 3 people also work in the same plot as 5 people. The contribution made by the 3 extra people does not add to the contribution made by the 5 people. If 3 people are removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. Suppose we say here 3 plus 3, 3 people are extra. We say these 3 people, you no need to come. Will the production of this field be less? They are cultivating paddy here. 3 people can easily work here and finish up all the work. So whether 3 people are working or 6 people are working, the production will be same. Only the work will be less. All the people will be doing less work, but the production will be same. So if these 3 people can go and work from somewhere else or find out work in some other place, then it will be an extra income for the family. These 3 people will be cultivating and producing paddy here, and other 3 people can go and work outside and they can get their salary, and so the family will become richer, the income of the family will increase. So that is the situation. So the contribution made by the 3 extra people does not add to the contribution made by the 5 people. And if 3 people are removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. The field requires the service of 5 people, and the 3 extra people are disguisedly employed. So those people who are joining for extra work, those extra people doing the work, they are in disguised unemployment. So they are disguised employed. So they are not really employed, but they are apparently or disguisedly they are employed. So in the case of urban areas, so now we finished rural areas. So in rural area, these two possible: seasonal and disguised employment. And if you come to urban area, what will happen there? So in the case of urban areas, educated unemployment has become a common phenomenon. So in the urban area, we see educated unemployment. That means many people are educated there in the urban areas. There are a lot of schools and colleges and technical schools, higher study centers, everything is available. And therefore, they do their education nicely. It is very easy for them to complete their education. But after completing their education, they are not able to get employment. They are not able to get job. That is their problem. That is called educated unemployment. So many youth with matriculation, graduation and post-graduation degrees are not able to find job. So in the town you will find there are different people, the young people. Some have finished matric, some have finished post-matric, some have finished graduation, some have finished post-graduation like MA and so on. But even after studying so many years and completing the education, still they are not getting job. Nobody is providing them job. That is the main problem they are facing. A study showed that unemployment of graduate and postgraduate has increased faster than among the matriculates. So now there is a study conducted that people who have studied graduation, that means BA, and post-graduation MA, they are finding difficult to get job. So more than people who finish matric, there are so many people who go up to BA and MA and still not able to find job. So very few people are there study only up to matric, but many others are still continue their studies. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as surplus of manpower in certain categories coexist with a shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technically qualified persons on one hand, while there is a dearth of technical skills required for economical growth. So in some places we will find there are many people who are technically skilled. That means people who got training in special skills. For example, people who are making computers, people who are working as engineers, they all have got special skills, and still some of them are not able to find job. But there are some areas where people are looking for skill. So there may be some skilled people are in India, but some other companies are looking for better skills or another skill, but there is nobody is found to be found. So that way some difference is there. Some skilled people are waiting for their job, but nobody is calling them. But some companies are looking for people who have got different skill, not those who are available, but they want some other skill, but those people are not available. So that is a problem that India is facing. That means many are taking the skill or getting the training of the skill in the same the same skill. There are so many people in the same skill. That's why they are not able to find job. But instead, we must have different skill. Get training in different skill. That's what companies are looking for. That's what the managers and other officers are looking for. But everybody is going for easy training, easy skill, and therefore there are so many people with the same training, same skill, and they are not able to get job. So that problem is there. So try to get different skills which you are able to do, which you are capable of doing, and which will provide employment opportunity for you. So you must have that planning that I will go in this line or I will go in this line. And don't just say everybody is going to become doctor, so I also will become doctor. Then there will be too many doctors and you will not be able to find a hospital for you to get job. So according to your talent, according to your ability, according to your likeness, try to choose the training, the direction that you should go. What skill you must develop? What is my interest? Accordingly, you must choose and try to choose if it is possible for you to work in different skills where others are not there or many others are not there. Then there is a great job opportunity for you. Others will be waiting for receiving your service and so on. So unemployment leads to wastage of manpower and resource. So if unemployment is there, means what happens? It becomes a waste. It is leading to waste of manpower and resource. So there is manpower waiting to do work with full of energy, with full of ideas and skills. They are ready to do the work, but nobody is calling them, or there is no opportunity for them. So it is a waste of manpower, waste of man resource. And people who are in asset for the economy turn into liability. So they are supposed to be asset for the economy. They are supposed to work and earn profit and make the nation rich. Instead, they become a liability. They have no job. They have not even money to buy food for them. Others have to work and provide food for them. So they become a liability. And there is a feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. So people do not have enough money to support their family. An inability of educated people who are willing to work to find gainful employment implies a great social waste. So in the present society, we know there are so many who are educated and they are not able to find job. Therefore they get discouraged, disappointed and despair. They get despair, and some of them even commit suicide because they complete their studies by taking loan from the bank, thinking that when I get job I can give back the loan. But they are not waiting and waiting, not getting job. Therefore they get discouraged and disappointed, and that kind of things are happening especially among the youth. And though it is very painful to see that people remain unemployed, and therefore we must try to find gainful employment. Otherwise it will be a social waste, because it is with the society's money that we study. We spend our time buying textbooks, buying notebooks, and spending a lot of time in the school, in the colleges, and afterwards if you don't get a job, then all our efforts, our manpower becomes waste. And unemployment tends to increase economic overload. The dependence of the unemployed on the working population increases. The quality of life of an individual as well as of society is adversely affected. When a family has to live on a bare subsistence level, there is a general decline in its health status and rising withdrawal from the school system. So we know what is happening. If a family is very poor, the father has no money or no income or no job, then the whole family will suffer. He will not be able to buy enough food for all the members. He will be buying very little food, and that way there will be health problem, nutrition problem, and they may become sick. Then again he has to buy medicine for them. So that kind of problems will be there when the members in the family are not employed. So it is better to study properly and choose your direction, and in which direction if I go, in which stream if I study, I will get job. So we must calculate and accordingly we must proceed. Hence, unemployment has detrimental impact on the overall growth of an economy. Increase in unemployment is an indicator of a depressed economy. So, if there is lot of unemployment, lot of people are educated but they are unemployed, that shows the economy is depressed. This economy is not growing but it is depressed, it is pushed down, and people who have got lot of unemployment, if the unemployment is increasing, then it is an indicator that our economy is not growing, and it is so waste the resource which could have been gainfully employed. If people cannot be used as a resource, they naturally appear as a liability to the economy. So if they are employed, then they get salary and they produce service, they produce something, and the economy is growing. But on the other hand, if you are not able to get job, then what happens? We are becoming a liability. Others are to work and provide food for us. We are not able to work and get money, but we are depending on others. So we become a liability. Otherwise, we are supposed to work and help the nation to grow with our salary, with our work. But here we are not able to do any work. Others are to do work and we are depending on them. Therefore, we become a liability to the economy. Instead of helping to grow, we are pulling it down. Then in the case of India, statistically, the unemployment rate is low. Anyway, thank God in India, comparing to other countries, the unemployment rate is low. Of course, this book is a bit old. The present stage, we know unemployment is very high. Of course, quite many factories have been brought down, closed down because of the lack of GDP growth. According to the present stage, the GDP growth of India is very low. Therefore, many companies are running on a loss and they have closed down. They have sent away their employees because work is very less. And therefore, quite many people have found that they have no more job to do. They have no more work. They have lost their work. So that is the present situation. Here, this book was printed some 10-15 years ago. Therefore, the current data, exact data is not available. We are talking about those days. So when this book was printed, the unemployment level was very low, but not at present. Now the unemployment in the country is very high. Quite many people have lost their job and so on. So they appear to work throughout the year, but in terms of their potential and income, it is not adequate for them. So a large number of people are working in our country, but they get very low income. People who are working in the field as a daily laborer, or people who are selling things on the roadside, or people who are carrying around the vehicle, the vegetables or fruits and selling. All those people are working. We see every day they are working, but the income that they get is very less. They are not able to get very high income. Then they appear to work throughout the year, but in terms of their potential and income, it is not adequate for them. So the income that they get is not enough, it is very less. The work that they are pursuing seems forced upon them. They may therefore want other work of their choice. Poor people cannot afford to sit idle. They tend to engage in any activity irrespective of its earning potential. Their earning keeps them on a bare subsistence level. So most of the people, you can see in the picture, a cobbler is doing. He is sitting and doing whole day work, but he may be getting very little income at the end. And they are forced to do this because they have no other work. They have no other source of income. So they are doing it just because there is no other way, no other source. So something to earn, to manage their family, they are forced to do this kind of work. Moreover, the employment structure is characterized by self-employment in the primary sector. The whole family contributes in the field of, even though not everybody is really needed. So there is disguised unemployment in the agriculture sector. We already said about almost every family who have got small field, they are having this disguised unemployment. All the members of the family go and work in the field. Even if all are not required, all are going and working because they have no other work. So that is faced by most of the families in our rural area. So there is disguised unemployment in the agriculture sector, but all the family also have a share in what has been produced. This concept of sharing of work in the field and the produce raised reduces the hardship of unemployment in the rural sector. So in that way, all the people are able to work together and their burden is reduced. All are working, therefore they are able to get some food for them to eat. So that is only concern, only advantage for the rural people. Or there are more members to work, there are more family members to do the work. But this does not reduce the poverty of the family. Gradually, surplus labor from every household tends to migrate from the village to search for jobs. So, though all are able to work together and produce something, it does not increase the production. Because we said earlier, what the 3 people can work and produce, 6 people are working. So the production remains same. Only that they are working only half of their ability. Therefore, the workload is less, but the production remains same. Therefore, nowadays there is a trend. People who are living in the rural area, what happens? They try to go to the urban area, hoping that they will be able to get some job in the urban area, because there is more job opportunity in the urban area, maybe in the factory or maybe in the shops selling things, or maybe helping in the carrying things and so on. So there are more job opportunities are there in the urban area. Therefore, people from the rural area, all that are extra here, all those are involved in the disguised employment. If 3 people can manage work in the field or in the farm, then other 3 no need to remain there. It becomes a burden, disguised unemployment. So these 3 people will try to go to the urban area, hoping that they will be able to get some job there. Then let us discuss about the employment scenario in the 3 sectors mentioned earlier. Agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. So we said in the 3 sectors, primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Among these 3 sectors, the most job absorbing sector is agriculture sector. That means more people are needed in the agriculture sector, or more people are working in the agriculture sector. We said earlier around 60% of the people are working in the agriculture sector or the primary sector, but the production is very low. What is the reason? When 60% of the people are working, they should produce more than half of the GDP, because more than half of the people are working means the production also should be more than half. But it is a fact is that it is disguised. Not that all the 60 people are required for the primary sector or the agriculture sector, but since they have no other work, they are just going and working there. That is the situation there. Then in recent years there has been a decline in the dependence of population on agriculture, partly because of disguised unemployment discussed earlier. So nowadays people start moving to town, trying to leave the field to only few people. Others try to go and find out some other job so that they can get some extra income. Some of the surplus labor in agriculture has moved to either the secondary or tertiary sector. So they go to the secondary sector to work there in the factory producing something, or in the tertiary sector maybe serving in the shops, or maybe helping a doctor or a nurse. So they can do different kinds of services. They try to move to the urban areas and try to find different jobs. So in the secondary sector, a small scale manufacturing is the most labor absorbing. So if you move to the secondary sector, there are so many small factories are there which are producing things. So most of the people working in the secondary sector, they are working in these factories producing something. They are working in these factories. So many factories are there in our country. So they are working there. And in case of tertiary sector, various new services are now appearing like biotechnology, information technology and so on. So if you come to tertiary sector, most of the people are working in the service sectors. So most all of them are doing service sectors. But in the recent times, after the development of this information technology or IT technology, the computer era has begun. The computer time has come. So there is a lot of job opportunities there. Working in the offices, working in the call centers, working in the companies, and so on. So people are interested there. So quite many people are employed in this service sector as well. Now let us read a story to know how people could become an asset for the economy of this village. So let us wind up this lesson by listening to a story about a village. Let us see how people can asset to the economy in a village. Let's see, it is a simple story. So there was a village inhabited by several families. Each family produced enough to feed its members. Each family met its needs by the members, making their own clothes and teaching their own children. And one of the families decided to send one of its sons to an agricultural college. The boy got his admission in the nearby college of agriculture, and sometime he became qualified and in agro engineering and came back to the village. So let's see how the story. There was a village. The people were self-sufficient. Everybody is doing what they need. They are able to produce food for them to eat. They are able to weave clothes for them to make dress. So they are not completely dependent on themselves. They are not depending on anybody else. They don't go out for buying anything. Everything what they need, they produce there itself. The food that they need, the clothes that they need, everything they need. The school, everything they have there itself. So one family decided, I have a son and I will send him to study outside. I will send him to the town. Let him go and study in the college. So long all the children were studying only up to school level. Now I will send my son to the college. There's agricultural college. I will send him there. Let him go and learn there. So the boy went there, studied nicely. He got a degree, diploma in agriculture course. Then he came back. So he proved to be so creative that he could design an improved type of plough which increased the yield of wheat. So he came back with his new knowledge of agriculture and he said, I can make a different plough for ploughing the field. So long what others are doing, that is a small one. I can make a bigger one or a better one. And so he made, since he has got idea from the college, he made a nice one and people saw. After using this plough, they are able to produce better. The production has increased. They are able to get more paddy. Then the family in the village sold surplus in a nearby neighboring village. They earned good profit, which they shared among themselves. So when they produce more crops, more paddy, they realized this much is not needed for us. So they went and sold in the market and they got some extra profit, extra money they got. And inspired by this success, all the families after some time held a meeting in the village. They all wanted to have a better future for their children too. They requested the panchayat to open a school in the village. They assured the panchayat that they would all send their children to school. The panchayat, with the help of government, opened a school. A teacher was recruited from a nearby town, and all the children of this village started going to school. And after some time, one of the families gave training to his daughter in tailoring. So, when the family saw, because one boy went out and studied, they are able to improve so much. They are able to get so much of profit. They are able to improve their cultivation. So, what about if all our children are able to study and get this kind of knowledge? Then our village will be progressing very much. So, they got that idea. So, they called a meeting. Discussed together and said, we will request our panchayat, that means the local government, will tell them open school for us in our village. All cannot go and study outside. So open a school here and we want to send our children there. So with the help of the state government, the local government opened a school. And they recruited a teacher from outside, from the town, and all the farmers sent their children to the school for learning. And they were able to improve the quality of life, they were able to improve. Then one man sent his daughter to the neighboring town to go and learn tailoring. Tailoring means stitching dress. So she started stitching clothes for all the families of the village, for everyone now wanted to buy and wear well tailored clothes. So she went and got training, and she came back and she began to stitch clothes. And they realized, so long we were managing my houses, we were weaving clothes, we were stitching clothes, everything. And now this girl, she went out, she learned how to stitch, and it looks so beautiful. Now everybody want her to stitch clothes. No more want that old style. They all want a new style. So then what happened? Thus another new job, that of a tailor, was created. This had another positive effect. The time of the farmers in going far for buying clothes was saved. So before, they were making clothes by themselves, or if they want good dress, they had to go to the other town, other village and buy. So going and coming may lose one day. So now in their own village, they are able to stitch. That girl is able to stitch clothes for them, therefore they can save time. So that was another advantage. And as the farmers spent more time in the field, the yield of the farms went up. So now people have more time. They don't have to go to the other town for buying clothes. So that time also they can go to the field and work. So when they worked for a long time, their produce also increased. They were able to get more corn. And this was the beginning of prosperity. So slowly everybody began to become rich. They have got more money, they have got extra good dress, they have got extra time and so on. The farmers had more than they could consume. Now they could sell what they produced to others who came to their village markets. So people came to their village. From other village, people came to this village to buy things. Because here things are more. The extra corns are there, extra paddy is there, and this girl is stitching dress. So those who want to buy from other village, they began to come to their village. So their village became a small market. Over the time, this village, which formerly had no job opportunities in the beginning, had many like teacher, tailor, agro-engineer and many more. So in the beginning, this village had their own idea. They were managing by themselves. Nobody was going for any job outside. Everybody was working in their own field, their own house. Now there are so many job opportunities are there. School is there, therefore some are teaching. A tailoring shop is there, so some are coming and stitching dress. And some are going for agro-based training, going for training the farmers how to do the proper cultivation and so on. Then this was the story of a simple village where the rising level of human capital enabled it to evolve into a place rich with complex and modern economic activities. So this is how the society grows. We need to take initiative, we need to get educated, we need to get training, we need to have extra knowledge, then there will be more job opportunities created and people can become richer and richer. Our society will start growing, our country will start growing. So that is what we can learn from the example of this village. A simple village became a prosperous because some decided to go to college, learn and get training. That girl got training in stitching clothes, and like that so many others were inspired. So that is how our country also can improve. All this unemployment can be removed if you are willing to get educated, if you are willing to work, and if you are willing to get training in proper streams where there are more job opportunities. Simply getting any kind of education is not enough. We must get proper training where there are more job opportunities, so that we will be employed and we will be getting profit, we will be getting salary for our country and for our family, and our country will be growing. So that is how we can contribute to the growth. The people will be growing as a resource. Instead of becoming a liability, instead of depending on others, we will be helping others. We will be helping our family, we will be helping the country. So let us all take that oath or the pledge that we all will grow as a resource, as a asset to the country, not as a liability. then we can really be proud of it, and we can lead others also, help others also to become asset to the country. So that is the end of this lesson. I will be giving you the class notes soon, and you will be able to write it down, and you have to send it to me by my number. Very many people are not doing that, so I will be catching you one by one. Those who are not writing down the notes, those who are waiting for another day, so do it immediately. Don't simply go on postponing, then we will be losing your time. So thank you for listening, and we will meet in the next class with another topic. That is, next time we will take geography again. We will go back to geography, and we will take another lesson from geography. So for time being, we will stop this economic class, and we will shift to geography class. So next class, be ready for geography. So until then, bye. Have a nice day.